Hello, hello, it's Cole from Creative City Project, and we are going live today on an interview with the team from the OtherVRse. And I got with me Mitch and somebody else. Hello.
It's a mystery.
It's
Hi,
a mystery.
I'm Angel.
Hey, Angel, how are you? Um,
Good.
all right, gentlemen, the OtherVRse coming to IMMERSE in downtown Orlando February 20th through the 21st. Right in the middle of downtown Orlando. Tell me what we can experience from the OtherVRse.
So the OtherVRse is the interdimensional travel agency, and what we are presenting are our state-of-the-art portals where we are going to transport our guests to another dimension. What that dimension is a surprise for the event, but it's a location that we think our guests are going to really enjoy and feel really impactful once they go through these two portals.
Are you
And it's
currently in the travel agency office?
Something. We're streaming from somewhere in the galaxy to a CRT here on Earth.
Well, we're grateful that you were able to tap into the latest of technologies here on Earth.
gotta use what you can get.
Well,
Wait, what year is it?
That's always a complicated question.
so tell me more about your travel agency, the OtherVRse.
So we're starting out, so we're trying to get the best locations in the galaxy for our users to be able to transport. Obviously, the bigger companies have a monopoly on the better spots, but we actually try our best to scour what the remains are and to see what would be safe and fun for our traveling.
And sometimes those are
Sometimes they're what?
much more fun.
Much more
And
fun,
there's
the unexpected. Exactly. That's what Immerse is all about. So it fits right
Exactly,
in.
exactly.
Talk to me about some of the destinations you've taken visitors to in the past.
well, I don't know if those went well.
Did everyone make it
Unfortunately,
back alive?
Most people made it back, for sure.
yeah. But the earlier ones, there were definitely some people that didn't come back the same.
And
But
the technology itself, are you like, breaking our existence up into tiny particles and like streaming them to another location? Did we use a device? What's the technological apparatus?
so the way that it works is that as of now, we can't physically break down a human to its molecular elements and then reconstruct it back into our portals. But the way that we're overcoming this is that we have these humanoid robots that exist in these locations that people can tap in through using virtual reality headsets on Earth, and they can remote pilot these robots on these other dimensions. So, like I said, they're completely safe, so there's nothing to worry about.
Have you ever put anyone on the back of an Ecron? It sounds like similar technology.
Oh, give me a second.
Uh-oh, what's happening?
My microphone fell out.
Um, so Ekrons are very expensive.
Oh yeah?
We've looked into it; it's insane. The next best thing is a glider, and we've been looking into it, but it didn't go well last time. So
As you can imagine, not a lot of things go well, but
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that everything has been a disaster so far. Are there any protocols that are being put into place to ensure that people can safely travel via your technology when they experience this at Immerse?
yes, I think we've learned from our past mistakes and from people that have gone through it. We've done it a couple times now that we have finally figured out what are the security measures that we need to take in order for people to safely be able to traverse the universe.
And how many people can you take on a trip at one time?
It really depends on the experience. Normally, the biggest group we've had is five at a time. But for this immerse, we're trying a different concept where we are imitating a water slide type, where people can consistently go through it without having an interruption, waiting. The only time we would fall into a situation where we are waiting if there's other travelers just occupying all the other headsets.
And is this an experience I have like with other people, or is this a solo thing? Do I see my
No,
travel companions?
yeah, you will be seeing your travel companions in front of you. We are trying to keep this one a little bit more contained versus the other experiences that were more open room and more exploratory. This one is more, it's like a single file line, so you will be able to see the travelers in front of you just to make sure you're not bumping into
So why did you start this start this company?
them. It's one of those things where I was I fell in love with the idea of multiverse theory and the idea that any space could be transformed into something that, with a little bit of imagination and technology, you could transform it into something completely new. Given the nature of the Quest, or like these headsets that became untethered, that kind of sparked this idea of like, okay, well, like now we don't need a computer to be able to run these simulations. Now we can just put on a headset anywhere and then transform any space to whatever you want it. And then it being multiverse theory is the idea that every space could technically be anything, because in the world in the theory itself is that all these parallel realities can coexist, overlapped on top of each other. We're just giving you the ability to navigate between them.
And how about each of you explain your roles in this process?
Sure. Uh, well, we both come from a creative background. We're both creatives, and work a lot in 3D and video games, which is kind of the next best thing to multiversal travel. Right now, the split is mostly on me for technology. There's all sorts of work to do there, as you can imagine. And then Mitch has been doing most of the 3D.
Yeah, so it's very split down the middle, where we share the disciplines. We understand both of our disciplines. So, but he is mainly focused on kind of like the programming, and I'm on the art side. But since we do overlap in the concepts between programming and art, we can communicate ideas between each other, which why our how do you say it? Our teamwork,
Partnership.
our partnership works out perfectly.
And
And we collaborate fully on the initial design phase, which is, I think, the most important.
cool. No, Immerse is all about experiences that are unique and that people don't typically have elsewhere. How is this representative of that?
Well, I mean, it's one thing where I guess the feeling that I want people to have is that this is going to be on the street, right, in Orlando, and what I want them to feel is that when they drive down the road, once Immerse is done, that they could point out to this location and be like, "Hey, remember what we had, remember what we experienced there," and that's kind of like the feeling that we want to capture for people. That we want people to start making new memories in the places that they've already been. Places that they've almost they glaze over now, where we're trying to reinvigorate that kind of like that, like, oh wow, remember that moment we had. So that's kind of what we're after, and I feel like that's what we're gonna take home from this experience.
Fantastic.
From a technology point of view, I can pretty much guarantee I don't know of a similar experience. We were doing some prototypes specifically for this portal effect, where you put on the headset and you start outside of the portal and you walk into it and are taken into this other dimension. I personally have never experienced that before, and I hope it's the same for other people that go and see it. And it's really a magical moment, and I think it has the potential. Everyone we've let test the portals, they've come back in one piece, but also have had a lot of good things to say about it.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks for telling us about what you got going on. We can't wait to experience it. It sounds like one of those things that One of the things I love about Immerse is, of course, there's these like really big things that thousands of people experience at one time. But then there's also these experiences that are like smaller groups, and only a certain number of people get to have that experience, which I think makes everybody's experience at Immerse like unique and a little bit special. So this sounds like one of those kind of like, if you get to experience it, it's a nice gift, which I love those moments. So thanks for bringing that to Immerse.
No, absolutely, and thank you for giving us the opportunity. It's going to be really cool.
Love it. Hey, real quick, if your OtherVRse office is in Orlando and you get to spend some time in our creative community, one of the questions I want to start asking people is, what are some of the things that have been inspiring to you, or some of the venues that you love going to, or some of the artists you love going to experience what they're making here in Central Florida?
Yeah. So I have two shout outs I wanted to give. One is the Orlando game dev and tech community. We've worked with them and been friends with them for years, and a lot of people don't know about the video games, the VR simulations, theme park work. There's really amazing things going on inside the city, because we're close to the Space Coast and to the theme parks and to the UCF and the other schools and Full Sail and everything. So really shout out to them. I wouldn't be here. Mitch wouldn't be here without them. And
All right, real quick, before you go on to the next thing, I want to ask you some questions about that. You mentioned how there are lots of opportunities here because of like our themed entertainment industry and the things that are innovating there, and then also kind of in the game development realm. Tell me about like some of the very specific technologies you've seen being developed, or the most interesting integrations or applications of those. Like, how have you seen that manifest itself in interesting ways practically?
Oh yeah, I mean I could talk all day about that. But to sum it up, Orlando has had like a training and simulation scene for a very long time that has been doing virtual reality since like the 70s, which is crazy, working with like the Air Force and then the Space Coast. And when the theme parks started looking at innovative technology, there ended up being an interesting collaboration. So mostly what I've seen actually is virtual reality. And I wish I could talk about work I've done with the theme parks, but I mean, I'm sure there's like someone outside the window right now making sure I don't say anything.
Sure. Well, you don't have to tell me about
But
work you've done. Tell me about some of the interesting applications that people who are seeing this could go and experience for themselves.
absolutely. So at the Universal's new park at Epic has all sorts of really cool technology. So they have augmented reality technology on the Mario Kart ride. They have these little telescopes in that Mario land that you can see sort of a virtual world through it. That's something we're both really excited about, and work in a similar vein. Um, I think in general, people should be open to just how incredible the technology is at these theme parks. Going all the way back to Walt Disney's, animatronics,
Hmm.
to where they are today, which is insane. But from hologram technologies to all sorts of virtual reality and video game stuff, I mean, there's so much in the theme parks.
And the reason why we're just talking about the theme parks is because most of the contractors that are working for the theme parks come from the talent from here in Orlando. So it's one of those things where it's like the community itself are the people working on these things. So, but obviously they are the people with the platform, and the
Yeah.
people that hire us to do it for them.
Sure.
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that a lot in the performer perspective, or the producer perspective, or the show writer perspective, where, there's all these musicians, for example, who work at the parks, and do the 20-minute show 6 times a day, but also want to create interesting things, and are looking at how they're innovating and developing more creative stuff outside of their job at the theme parks. It sounds like, from a technological standpoint, we have a wealth of talent here on the technical side, on the developer side, on the VR AR side as well, because there's those full-time jobs or those contract jobs, but then also those creators get to make things outside of that as well.
100%. And really, one of our biggest goals, or at least mine, I don't know, but I love the parks so much. but I really kind of want to democratize it. Like, this technology and these incredible experiences are paywalled increasingly steeply behind literal gates. And the idea that we could take some of that and share those magical experiences in downtown Orlando and just like streets that we're used to walking, is just like a huge goal for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, because we feel that yeah, like how everyone should be entitled to be able to experience high quality experiences at the level of Disney or Universal without having to go to Universal or Disney.
Yeah. All right. I cut you off on your first thing. Tell me about your second thing that you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, well, the art community. So I've tried to kind of reach out and use some of my skills to help out the artists in downtown Orlando. So I wanted to shout out Pat Green, who I think it's every fourth
Third.
Wednesday in the morning.
Oh, yeah. His crazy early thing.
Yeah, and then he has a crazy early thing, and the office I was working at was like 2 doors down from that, and I'm a morning person, so I went to that and connected with a bunch of artists. So since then, I've been able to do some immersive art at one of the art cubes, which look up art cube, it's so cool. And I've also helped Laura Buitrago on her incredible art installation. I wish it was still up so I could tell you to go, but it was on the second floor of City Arts in November. And it's just so cool being able to collaborate with the art community and bring technology to the art community. And I think that's one of the biggest strengths of Orlando. I mean, talking about, the parks and all this talent that's here in the city, the way that diversity of people and education and backgrounds can create art, I think is very unique in this.
For sure. Mitchell, do you have any shout outs, things that are inspiring to you in the Orlando art world?
Honestly, I would be lying if I said that I don't really go out that much. I'm more of a hermit, in the sense that I kind of have this mission in my head of the things that I want to build, and I just spend basically most of my time just tinkering and developing these ideas. And obviously, ever since we started kind of this OtherVRse idea, that kind of has taken over the things that I need to do. Just because my inspiration, a lot of it comes from like the '90s, because that's where I grew up, movies and all those things, recreating those moments. I really love film. Um, but honestly, my inspiration comes, I live it vicariously through Angel, because he's the one that's a little bit industrial, from the both of us.
I don't know about
But in the sense of actually working with people and doing all that stuff. So he talks to me about like all these projects that he works on with the art community. And that's kind of like an inspiration for me to be like, okay, cool. Like, once we get this thing off, like, get our legs underneath us, and we can like actually extend this technology to other artists to see how we can create new experiences with people's vision and this technology.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to experience all that you're bringing in the Otherverse to downtown Orlando during Immerse. Thanks a ton for joining.